Welcome back, all my 40K fanatics out there. I'm DJ here with Tim's Nation to bring you my list for the upcoming battle against Lane and his Death Watch. Today, I will be playing Necrons. So this video is for all my cronies out there, and this one is especially for all of my cronies out there. Recently, I just had a battle with Nico and his 1,000 Sons, and I got whooped hard, very bad. He put me in the corner and told me to stay there. I was in timeout for that entire game. And, with a lot of the lists, like I like to do here on the channel, if we just ran the best of the Necrons, every single one of my videos would look exactly the same. You'd have the Lych Guard, you'd have warriors, and we have a very deep book. So personally, I like to try to experiment. Try to experiment with all the different units in the Codex, and try to see if there's any hidden gems to come out of there. That's not what we're doing really here today. Today, after getting whooped by 1,000 Sons, arguably so, I had a weird list that might have done well against not one of the top armies in the meta, and I learned real quick on how nasty 1,000 Sons can be. And so, yeah, I decided to dial it back a bit. So guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do. Turn on the bell for notification, get notified on all the content that we bring you here on the channel. And let's start talking about the Necrons that I'm bringing today. And bringing back the Fury. Yes, today we have Lych Guard. All right, here it is. So friends of the channel may notice some favorites of mine, as well as other pieces that maybe you haven't seen here on the channel yet, and some other things you might be questioning. So let's take a look at this and talk about what I'm bringing for the Necron list that I have lovingly named Doom and Gloom. So we'll start with the Doom. The Doom is the 3 Canoptic Doom Stalkers. I personally have loved these guys. These guys have been excellent for me, from their Overwatch skills to just the damage, being able to pick up 3 wound models very, very nicely, very easily. I personally love these guys. And for 125 points, I can't get away from them yet. I really, really, really still love the Canoptic Doomstalkers, so they're sticking around. I have a couple of other things that's going to help boost them, the Canoptic Control Node, as well as Spiders, to be able to give them Feel No Pain. So my list does really well off the Doomstalkers. Now, I know a lot of people like the Doomsday Arc for a little bit more damage, since it is damage 4, as well as having the Devastating Wounds effect. I get it. I like to save a bit of the points and still have a strong gun to be able to take on some of those infantry with. And so I've been a big fan of these guys. So they're sticking around for a while. And as you can see, starting to get some paint on them finally. Moving over to the Gloom. The Gloom is my 3 6-man squads of Canoptic Spiders, or Tomb Spiders. These guys have been very, very surprising. And everyone I've played them against, even into that game with Nico and his 1,000 Sons, even he was surprised at what the Spiders can do. Spiders are one unit that I think out of all the trial and error, these guys have risen to the top. As Macho Man Randy Savage would say, the cream always rises. And these Spiders are definitely something there. There is something there. They each have 2 particle beamers, which is D6 shots blast. So that means you're going to get 1 shot per particle beamer, and they are equipped with 2 for every 5 models in the unit that you're shooting at. And top of that, it's Devastating Wounds. Not to mention, these guys are tough. They don't have an invuln, but they are tough, and they're going to get their own 6-up invulnerable save because of the fact that they are vehicles. Also, tank shock on the charge. I really like these guys a lot. I've had success with them, and that's why they're making it this list where, yes, I'm trying to get mean with this thing in a bunch of ways. All right, so there's my Doom and Gloom. On to everything else. So we have Scarabs. Because I have the Spiders, why not run Scarabs? And although Scarabs have significantly got hit harder, and I've tried a bunch of different ways to use these guys aggressively and offensively, they have, for the most part, failed. What I like them for is action monkeys. There are secondaries in the game that require you to not shoot and do an action. And I think these guys fit that role very, very well. So I have 2 3-mans to be able to do back corner of secondaries and zone out deep strike. And I took 1 6-man. The 6-man is so that I have a unit that's able to go to center field and do actions up there while not getting completely obliterated. And then the spiders could reanimate and bring guys back to help keep that squad at a higher strength. But for the most part, these guys are there for action monkey effects. And hey, maybe some mortal wounds when they crash into some stuff. All right, moving over to the Triarch Stalker. This is the first time in my entire life I've ever run a Triarch Stalker. So the reason I'm running him, and he is a test, but the reason I'm running him is because of his ability. Any unit he hits, he removes the benefits of cover for that unit that he shoots at. One thing I've noticed with the Doomstalkers is that, and I noticed this in a game I was helping recently, Marines can really, really reduce that AP3 down fast to almost seeming like an AP1, what with cover and Armor of Contempt. Being able to go, no, this unit that I need dead is not getting cover, and then shooting everything else at it could be significant for what I'm trying to do. The Triarch Stalker is basically the same stat line as the Doomstalkers. It'll be able to get the 6-up, feel no pain from the spiders. So all in all, this guy kind of synergizes pretty well with my army entirely. So I'm looking forward to trying him out. And here's the Particle Beamer for some more Mortal Wound fun. Moving on over to an auto include, the Canoptic Reanimator. Now the Canoptic Reanimator is looking at getting a little bit of nerf here soon, and we'll talk about that after in a minute. But the Canoptic Reanimator is still just such a strong linchpin in every Necron army. Nerfed or not, it really, if your opponent can't answer it, you are going to be resurrecting for days. And especially with the Lych Guard that I have in this list, and even the spiders and some of the Doomstalkers, I mean, everything really benefits from that Reanimator being around. All right, let's move into the characters. So for this list, I have 2 Overlords and 2 Technomancers. The Technomancers will have the Canoptic Control Node for obvious reasons, my Canoptic guys. And the Overlords will have a Resurrection Orb, as well as the Overlord's Blade. Now, one of my Overlords will have the Veil of Darkness. One of my Technomancers will have the Hypermaterial Albetter. The reason I separated them like this is this gives me the ability for whichever Lych Guard I choose to join, I can now either have the Veil and the Stealth and Cover buff on the same unit. I can separate them. I can put them where I feel I need them most. And this allows me options between how I want to stack these. At the same time, we also have 2 2-man squads of Crypt Thralls to give us a little extra feel no pain, a couple extra models with the boot to boost up and for all of my Lych Guard. And basically, Crypt Thralls have a 4-up feel no pain, and they're 2 wounds apiece, so they can help slow down some mortal wound damage. And they're just mean and nasty. I mean, even with some of the nerfs and reduction to their abilities that we've seen, they're still really good. At 20 points a guy, 40 points for the unit, still relatively cheap for what they do, and just to be take that squad and add 2 more models to it. All right, we've talked about them. Now it's time to show them. The Lych Guard. I have 2 10-man squads of Lych Guard, one with sword and board and one with spear. Not really a lot to say here. They are what they are. Now, we'll be using these under some of the new teasered changes that we're about to see. But yeah, so I wanted to showcase the sword and board guys are kind of the linchpin. They're the most defensive ones and probably the strongest option if you're only going to run one. But I have these old school pariahs over here that I love to get on the channel. So these are going to be my Lych Guard with spears, and we're going to see how the spear or glaive really functions for the overall scheme of the list. All right, so as I said, my last game against Nico, I pushed the needle too far. I'm not above saying that that was a bad list. That was a very, very bad list. I put some stuff in there to try some stuff out, try different numbers of things, 6, 3 here, this, that, and the other. And there's way too much going in there. There's way too much, it's like if you have a meal, you like salt, you like pepper. Well, they're both good, but maybe at the same time, they're not good. And I think that's a lot of what went on. I had a lot of decent things that could possibly do work and have abilities, but not all in the same list and not all at the same time. And it was just too much mixing going on here. And then Nico's list was much more fine-tuned. He has been winning our TTs with that thing. He has been, and their Thousand Suns, which are super strong, but he is very dialed in on that. And that was not the list, the game, the time for it. And I do apologize that I even ran that thing. Realistically, going into a list like that, I should have probably run something much stronger into it. I just wanted to test some stuff out, and it was a game last minute, but no excuses. I should have switched it up a bit. So this time, I'm bringing the heat, or I'm trying to bring the heat as best I can. We did see there are some leaks about some changes to Necron datasheets that we're about to see this Thursday. So with that being said, some of these might change. They may not be 100% correct, but from what we've seen, those are the things I'm going to be trying out with this list today. And those things are, number one, the Lych Guard having a noble with them. They will only receive the -1 to wound buff if the weapon that is targeting them is a higher strength value. So because of their toughness 5, anything that is strength 6 or above will then be -1 to wound. If I said that kind of awkward, apologize. The second one, which is not playing into effect this at all, the Transcendent Catan will not be allowed to take enhancements. Just straight up, they're kiboshing that, so no more some triple weave, or one that Sovereign Cornell. I thought that one was kind of cool on your Transcendent Catans. We kind of all had a feeling that that was coming, though. And then we have the reanimation stratagem. So the reanimation stratagem has been moved to once per turn. Not battle round, once per turn. You can only use it once per turn instead of being able to use it once per phase. So that one's going to be critical with the Lych Guard, but again, there's ways we can get around that. Just make sure that we're being smart with it and stuff like that. And then what was the last one? The Reanimator. That's right. The Reanimator now has been reduced to a 9-inch range and requires line of sight. I do not think that that's going to put him on the shelf, but it is definitely something that we need to take into consideration overall for the army. So, all right. Well, Lane's bringing some Death Watch, and I did let him know. I said, man, after getting beat up by Nico, I need to do this for my cronies. I need to put this one out there and put out a good, strong list for my cronies, so to bring not even just for the cronies, for the Necrons entirely, man. I can't let them go down like that. Can't let it go down like that. So we're bringing the heat. We're bringing the pain. I think fighters are very good. I think that they have a lot of play. Hopefully we see more of them in this list. I'd say the only thing I'm really testing out is the Triarch Stalker, because I want some way to ignore cover with the Doomstalkers. So wish me luck, guys, for all my dynasties. I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for watching.